God, I hate this. I want to remind you this is the worst day of someone's life. Mrs. Evans?
Yes?
Mrs. Evans, I'm Detective Sergeant Gammon, and this is Detective Senior Constable Sparks. We need to talk to you about your husband. May we come in, please? Mrs. Evans, I'm going to be as straightforward as I can. Your husband has been killed.
Mummy?
Hi, darling. Why don't you go and play? I'll be there in a minute. How did he die?
It was a road accident.
He was hit by a car. We have support services available. Counsellors, psychologists.
I don't understand though. How did this happen? Where did this happen? Why have they sent detectives?
Mrs. Evans, there's more to this. We have a warrant to inspect the premises.
Why? My husband was never involved in anything.
We believe that there is a side to your husband that you may never have seen. Mr. Evans was one of this state's most notorious and elusive sex offenders.
Sex offenders?
I can understand how you would find this difficult to believe. He went to extraordinary lengths to conceal his identity. His victims were mainly women, young, vulnerable, innocent.
I don't understand, officer. What exactly are you saying?
Mrs. Evans, we believe that your husband was...
The Flemington Flasher.
He started small, parks, train stations. But as time went by, his attacks became more and more brazen.
Jesus!
No, this isn't true. You've got the wrong man.
We do have a warrant.
Mrs. Evans, have you seen this? We're going to need you to surrender all of your underwear. G-strings, lingerie, bras, erotica. The thing with the open front.
Crotchless.
That's right, crotchless.
We're just going to have a quick look around the house.
It'll be over in a flash.
You've just told me my husband's been killed. Can't this wait?
If it were just the flashing, we'd deal with it in due time, but unfortunately there's a little more to it.
6 months ago, we became aware of a group of men operating a website dedicated to the appropriation of women's intimate apparel.
What?
They steal underwear.
This was an undergarment appropriation ring, the sophistication of which was unparalleled outside of Canberra.
Now, the operation is run by a man who calls himself the Undertaker.
The Undertaker?
Mrs. Evans, we now believe that the Undertaker and the Flemington Flasher are in fact one and the same person.
You can't be serious.
This is when things got personal.
When the Undertaker found out that we were onto him,
He started stealing our underwear.
every man has his tipping point, Mrs. Evans, and I feel that we should let you know.
We're not wearing any underpants.
How did he die?
The Undertaker hadn't expressed for some time, so that we knew that he was building up to something big.
We constructed a map from all of the crime scenes, which loosely formed a shape of him flashing.
If you look here, you'll see that his shaft points directly to the location of his final target.
This morning, at 10:29, the Undertaker performed his magnum opus.
But this time, we were ready for him.
We are gathered here today to mourn our dear friend, Jeremy Barker. A brother, a father, and a husband. Jeremy touched everyone he knew. While he has departed from this world, we are reminded of the story of Lazarus, and we know that Jeremy will rise again.
Freeze! Freeze!
Rip it out in a church, really original.
What are you doing here?
So, Mrs. Evans, if you can just show us to your underwear, we'll be on our way. We will need you to come along with us and identify the body.
We can get half of Melbourne to do that.
Sergeant, you've just told me that my husband is a pervert who spends his days exposing himself to women and children and who operates the world's biggest underwear theft ring.
Outside of Canberra.
And he died today after traumatising a grieving family and then running from police. And now you want me to give you all of my underwear.
Eileen, we just need you to be calm and understand.
It's Ellen.
Eileen Evans, 18 William Street, Flemington.
Ellen Evans of 81 William Street, Flemington.
I think we may have made a mistake.
Well, is my husband dead or
I'd
not?
say probably not. And we can make a call to see if your husband's okay if you like.
Well, all's well that ends well. We have some important news for Eileen Evans down the street then, so we'll be on our way. We can see ourselves out.
So, has that happened much in your last 20 years?
Let us never speak of this again.
Sarge, it's embarrassing. But you know what? We'll have a great laugh about this one day.
You may be right. Hey, that was the look on her face when she thought her husband was stealing her underwear.
Mate, you can't blame him, can you?
Come on, let's get out of here.
So that's Mr. Evans.